Hi, crew. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the language lesson today. So, I want to talk, first of all, just about your language pack that you got this week. First of all, number one thing, parents, page 163 to 164 should not be in your packet. I forgot to take it out when I was loading up everything the other day. So, 163, 164, that sheet can go. And then 165, I think I put in the sheet there that they don't have to do that. But that one they don't have to do. But 163, 164, that one I shouldn't have put in there. That's my bad. Sorry about that one. Okay? Otherwise, everything else on there, I do want you to do this week, guys. Okay? So make sure you're doing that. So just a couple of things. On the spelling sheet, this week what we're looking at is we're looking at the ooh sound. Okay? So words that have that oon, like spoon, and then words that have the ooh, E-W, like the word crew. So those are your spelling, that's your spelling thing that we're looking at this week, is that ooh sound for spoon and crew. All right, so you'll be doing some different things with that in your spelling sheet activities. The other thing is we're looking at this week some contractions again. We haven't done contractions for a bit, but now we're going to do some contractions with pronouns. So ones like it is or they are, where it is becomes it's, where you combine them together, take out the I and the apostrophe takes that place, and it is becomes its. And they are becomes their, T-H-E-Y, and then you remove the A and it becomes R-E. So that's the other thing that we're working on with language this week, is some stuff like that. Okay? So a couple things that you're working on your worksheets. The one that I want to work on together today is page 162. So if you could go ahead and get out 162 from your stuff that you have there. I'll give you a second to get that, and then a pencil, because we'll work this out together today, okay? And while you're getting that, I'm going to go ahead and write a sentence on the board that we're going to be looking at. Okay, got it? Okay. Now, what we're looking at on this sheet is word choice, and we're looking at sense words and details. We've talked about this from the beginning of the year, but we don't want to be boring writers. In other words, using words like, "That was a good day." It was bad. Okay, we want to stay away from those kinds of words, but we want to use words that are going to describe. And on this, we're going to take a look at words that describe to the senses, meaning touch, smell, sight, hearing, taste, all of those kinds of things. So that's what we're going to do on the sentences today. We're going to look at some of these words that give us more detail. So we're going to look at a boring sentence up at the top where it says, Lewis saw a tadpole. Boring. Okay? Instead, let's make it a little more exciting by it. Lewis saw a huge spotted tadpole. Now, when you and I think of a tadpole, we think of, a little thing like this that someday is going to, grow into a frog or a toad or something like that. But in this, they want us to know it's a huge spotted tadpole. So it's letting us know what it looks like. It's giving us a size and also coloring so that we have a better idea of what it looks like. So that's what we're going to do with these first two sentences up at the top. So we're just going to add in some words or word to finish the sentence and give it a little more detail. So, sentence number one, let's go ahead and let's have, oh my goodness, I don't want to read the sentence. Declan, can you read sentence number one for us, please? Yeah, Alphonse. That name is Alphonse, okay? Okay, Lewis touched Alphonse's skin. Again, the apostrophe here showing us that the skin belongs to Alphonse. That's a possessive apostrophe. Okay, so we're talking about touch. So don't tell me it was spotted skin or yellow skin, but instead we want to know, what does his skin feel like? Okay, so think about Alphonse. What was Alphonse? What would his skin feel like? And Cody Binger, can you tell us what his skin might feel like? Slimy. Sure, let's go with slimy. Alphonse, like you said, was a tadpole. So tadpoles are baby amphibians, and they are slimy, so slimy works. And that gives us, again, a better idea. My skin, dry. So when you're talking about an amphibian, slimy. Good descriptive word. Lets us know it's a little bit different than our normal skin that we would have. Okay, so you write slimy in the blank there. And then I'm going to write down the second sentence. And while I'm writing that, Anya, can you read that sentence for us, please? Good. Lewis smelled the blank water. Okay, now, our describing word now is going to describe how the water smells. Now, I have my water jug here, and if I were to... I don't really smell much. Maybe a little chlorine-y kind of smell, because they do use some stuff to clean our water. I don't know, but I really don't... It doesn't have much of a smell. It's like rain or puddles or water that comes out of your sink and stuff like this. But let's think, if Lewis smelled the water, what might the water smell like? Think about where this water might be and things like that. So, what do you think? Louder? Stinky. Okay, we can go with stinky. Lewis smelled the stinky water. Now, when I think of stinky water, I think of water that might be in a sewer, or even sometimes at a lake or river, creek, ocean. Because sometimes that water, it has kind of a different kind of a smell, because it does have some of those different things in it that doesn't get cleaned out for the drinking water that we have. So stinky would work. Sure, why not? Okay, good. You get stinky written down there, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase, because now we're going to do something different down at the bottom. At the bottom now, they aren't going to give us a blank. Instead, they're just going to give us a big old empty space, because we're going to write in the full sentence. So we're going to take the sentence that they give us, and we're going to make it a little more interesting sentence. So Cody Smith, can you read sentence number 3 for us? Alphonse. Alphonse ate a snack. Okay, so let's start with Alphonse. Now, write small, because we don't know exactly what's going to go in there. So, Alphonse. Okay, now, instead of the word ate, is there a different word we can use instead of ate? Kylie. Devoured. Okay, we can go with devoured. Devoured kind of gives us a better picture of it. When I think of devoured, I don't think of myself sitting down to the table and eating a sandwich. When I think of devoured, I think of Champ when he goes out in the morning and you dump out the food. He just swallows it all in one bite, it seems like. So devoured, good word. Gives us a better picture of what Alphonse would do. Now, what would Alphonse devour? What would he eat? Well, what do you think? A fish, okay? Sure, he's a water animal. He's a Loch Ness monster, we found out in the story. Could you give us a little more description of that fish? Okay, a purple striped fish. Let's do that. So we're going to put devoured, a purple. Make sure you're writing small, because we got to fit all this in here. Purple striped ed fish. All right. Alphonse devoured a purple striped fish. That's very descriptive. Because now I know what it is he's eating, not just a snack, but it's a fish. And I know what the fish looks like. It is purple, it has stripes. And I know that he devoured it. Oh! Like that. So, there you go. Very descriptive. Nicely done. All right, Keegan, you want to read sentence number 4 for us? Lewis heard a sound. Okay, Lewis heard a sound. So let's start with Lewis. Write small again, just in case we get a long sentence again. Lewis. Now, instead of heard, what's a word we could use? Because hearing is what we do with our ears. What's another thing that we could do with our ears? Brooklyn. Listen, sure. But since it's heard, that's past tense. So Brooklyn, what do we need to do with listen? Good. Add ed to it. So that's what we're going to do. Listened. Listened. Lewis listened. And I'm actually going to add to. Lewis listened to. All right. Now, let's think about what Lewis could be listening to. Ross, what do you think? A barking dog. Okay. Cool. We go with that. Lewis listened to a barking dog. Heard some barking dogs here in Millette yesterday, so maybe Lewis was in Millette. So there you go. Listen to a barking dog. Now, it tells me what the dog is doing, barking. Now, we could be even more descriptive if we wanted to. Instead of just saying dog, we could say Lewis listened to a barking and then describe what kind of dog it was. Whether it was a poodle or a golden retriever or a German shepherd. You know, you could get crazy with that too. As descriptive as you could possibly be, guys, is going to make it more interesting for your reader. When you think about the book that we just read, Tale of Despereaux, but even into Mr. Popper's Penguins, the authors of these books, when Kate DiCamillo describes Despereaux going into the dungeon, she did a great job of making you feel like you were there and telling you just how scary and dreadful place this was that he was going to. She talked about he couldn't see his hand in front of his face. It was so dark. She talked about the smells that were down there. And she talked about the sounds that he was hearing, the scraping of the rats' claws on the walls. All of these things were adding to kind of our fear for Despereaux being in this place. Did we get to see a picture? No. The only picture we had were the words that she used to describe the sight, the sound, the smells, all of those things, and what our brain was doing with all of the describing she was doing. Great authors, great storytellers do that. If you want to be a great storyteller, guys, whether you're speaking it or you are writing it, you want to be able to use those descriptive words so that people can feel, taste, touch, smell, hear all of those different things that are going on. That's what the best writers do, okay? All right, so we're done with that one. So make sure you do the rest of those language sheets. And parents, as usual, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to email me. Some of you have emailed me, which is why I knew to say something about 163, 164. But if there's anything else that you have questions on or things, check it out. But otherwise, keep coming back to the website because we'll have another math lesson I'll probably put online sometime tomorrow. All righty? All right. Check you later, guys. I miss you.